Hey guys, today we are taking a look at two very special vintage and neo-vintage Rolexes that just hit the vintage watch shop over at huntingtoncompany.com. I'm pretty excited to showcase these two gorgeous watches because they are still in the affordable side of the Rolex market, but at the same time are a bit more uncommon and even rare. So there's something special about these watches, and I promise you they won't disappoint. So first, we'll take a look at the Rolex Datejust, a reference 16220, which means it has an engine turn bezel. In this specific example comes with its original oyster bracelet. This is nothing special. A lot of people don't like the engine turn bezel for some reason, but I think it gives the Rolex Datejust a gorgeous industrial feel for such a classic design. But what makes this so special is the dial. What you have is an anniversary dial, which means that you have the Rolex name going throughout the dial stamped all the way from 12 to 6 o'clock. It is in a gorgeous, almost ivory color, which you don't often see. In certain angles, it looks like silver, and others it gives it a milky gloss tone, which I love. Most times you see these in a silver or even a champagne color. We personally call it an anniversary dial, but you might hear it be called a jubilee because of the anniversary, or a computer dial. But this anniversary dial is even more special, not just because of the color, but because you often find these with a factory diamond set dial, which means the hour markers are all diamonds. But for this specific example, there are no diamonds, just beautiful industrial designed Arabic numerals that work perfectly with the engine turn bezel and the oyster bracelet. This dial color is not often seen. I think we've only come by one or two of these in the past few years of sourcing watches for the vintage watch shop. So to pick one up this week was pretty special, and to be able to offer it to you guys really excites me because I think these watches are special. And again, they're still affordable, so if you have the opportunity to pick something up like this, I would totally go for it. I honestly think this dial is one of the coolest dials that came out from this era with the sapphire crystal 36mm reference. It has a milky tone when it hits the light just right. The gloss dial with some of the silver attributes mixed just right. It gives this industrial design and classic design at the same time. And I know I bring that up a lot, but with a Datejust with an engine turn bezel, Arabic numerals, and an anniversary dial, it really gives off that feeling. It's the perfect mixture, and this dial in the light is gorgeous, and I promise you videos and photos won't do it justice. So if you haven't seen one in person, I promise you a watch like this would never disappoint. Now we go back a few years in the history of Rolex, and we take a look at the reference 15053, a Rolex date in two-tone, which you don't often see. And even better, it has a solid gold engine turn bezel, which you also don't really see when it comes to Rolex with any model. So it has an industrial design, but at the same time, it's two-tone with a champagne dial and a jubilee bracelet. So it's the perfect mix of class and casualness. And that's what I love about this watch. Because of its 34mm oyster case, it's not as expensive as a comparable reference like the 16013 36mm Datejust from the same era. You still have a hacking feature and a quick set date. With a champagne stick dial and two-tone jubilee bracelet, it's literally the same watch, but this one in my opinion is even cooler and more special because of that bezel, something that you honestly don't often see. A solid gold engine turn bezel is kind of funny. You have the engine turn bezel, which is something of more industrial design by Rolex. Making it solid gold gives it a whole different feel, and that's what I love about the reference 15053. So if you haven't seen these models before, because they don't often come on market, then here it is, and I promise you this watch won't disappoint. Even the 16220 won't, because of that gorgeous dial. They could still be had for right under $5,000 for the 15053, but you're getting a lot of watch and something that is rare and collectible at the same time. So if you're looking for something special or looking to kick off your collection when it comes to Rolex as an enthusiast or collector, take a look at these two gorgeous vintage and neo-vintage Rolexes available in the vintage watch shop over at huntingtoncompany.com.